Alright guys, so welcome back to my channel. In the previous video, I did let you guys know that I did buy a 2013 Nissan Sentra. I bought it from a private dealer. He sold it for right around $3,000. Pretty mint condition. I will show you in a little bit what interior looks like and you know how the dashboard is and everything. But yeah, it does have transmission issues. I did drive it. It's basically revving each time you press the accelerator. The dealer, private dealer, is also a mechanic, so he tried doing a rebuild on it and was unsuccessful. So I'm just gonna get rid of it and I'm gonna put in a new transmission. Be aware when you go buy the transmission, do not buy off of Facebook unless you know a local place that sells and has a warranty and everything. I tried, basically tried to call one of these places and was almost scammed on it. So I tried to save some money. I was trying to save some money and, you know, trying to call this place, which had a price for $500. And of course, you know, when it's if it sounds too good to be true, it is. So yeah, so luckily I was able to get out of it and make sure that I didn't get scammed. When I called this place, they tried all different sorts of things. They tried having me send pictures to them of Zelle payment, all this stuff, and I realized, okay, this can't be right. If it was a legit company, they would accept credit card and be able to, you know, accept payment that way. Anyway, the CVT transmission, get this, $1,500 and above. I paid $1,975. Yes, it's basically almost the price of the car. So the car was expensive, the CVT is expensive, so I'm not sure if I'll be making any profit on it when I go resell it. But we'll see, right? I'll document. We'll keep a part one of this. I don't like going over 15 minutes. So first video will be, you know, 15 minutes long. Second video, I'm just gonna give you a rundown of exactly what happened with the sale. Was I able to sell it and make profit at all or not? And yeah, we'll begin showing you the car. We'll begin with giving you slightly step-by-step flow of the car, of the parts that need to be taken out. Maybe this video can be slightly over 15 minutes, we'll see. You got the interior, leather seats. Not bad for a 8-year-old car. Got the nice little wooden looking like interior. I don't know if you could see. Back seat is pretty pristine. Okay. Yeah. No issues here. And we have the wheels. It's a SL model. Only thing I see here, I don't know if I could get a good shot, is there is a bulb which I will pull out. I will show you how to do that. So I know I promised a step-by-step, but I already disconnected the battery, removed the battery here, removed the like you can call it the air intake manifold, right? We got the tubing that wraps around here, and that's the filter for the air filter, and goes down and goes into this little hole. over here. So I took out the plugs. I took out the couple other bolts here for where the battery sits. That's where the battery is. You got the air intake manifold. All right, so a lot more parts to come out. The best thing that I do, or one of the things that I do so I don't have to label bolts, is to screw it back on to where you took it out from. Of course, there goes a part here that sits, but that's out. So you will need to remember where that goes. But the screws, right? So I put those back. This way you don't have to remember where it goes back in. Anyway, so let's get on with removing most of the top piece. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna remove some of the stuff here. Maybe I'll try to remove this hose just so I can reach the starter, which I don't know if you could see. Right in between, I will need to remove the starter, which connects the engine to the transmission. And we got the bolts here that we need to reach at, right in the back, right there. And then on the bottom view, we have that's where the separation is. If you can see, this is where I will be taking the bolts out from the bottom piece. Okay, it's the engine, that's the transmission. Okay, so as you can see, we got some bigger bolts over there. I'm thinking right around 16 millimeters. So we're gonna be taking those out, and then I think that's also a motor mount, which we'll be taking out. Place a jack right here so that it supports the engine. So this is one of those where you're gonna have to go up and down a lot. That's the other motor mount, transmission mount more like. This is the only thing that's holding the transmission from this side. So as you loosen this, the whole engine and transmission will slowly start going down. So make sure to place a jack underneath the engine oil pan. Place like a wood between the engine and the jack so that you could support it. Okay, and then yeah, slowly start taking it apart. That's the shifter link that you will need to take apart. I don't know if you can see, there you go. So you'll need to take that apart. Yeah, I'll try to do a better job than the last video where I had the step-by-step. I'll try to include more of the steps in this video, okay? Just don't forget, we're taking out the shifter linkage. This will fit back into the groove of the next transmission, okay? So it'll fit basically like the way I'm doing right here. It'll go down all the way, it'll snap in, and then we will have this lock that you will need to lock in place, okay? Alright, so we've jacked up the car to enough level where I can record, of course, and come take a look at the transmission here. Just make sure you guys do a good job of safely jacking it up. Not only do I have a jack over there, a jack over there, I also have an actual floor jack installed as well. And now that I think about it, I think I'm gonna put another one Sure. Alright, we jacked up the cars. Jacked up the car with 2 jack stands there, jack stands there. Usually jack stands are pretty safe, so make sure you have it to the proper height. And come take a look at it here. I'll zoom out a little bit. Where take the transmission apart from here. Take out these bolts. Take out this bolt right here. I'll let you know what millimeter it is. And then, yeah, it's already leaking, see? Leaking oil. So I don't know if you guys can see. Maybe I should turn the light on. There you go. All right, so we jacked up over there, jacked up over there, and then we got these bolts right here. 1, 2, 3. To me, it looks like it's 17 millimeter, but I could be wrong. But so I'm gonna start taking those out, give you a step by step. Okay, of course, drain the transmission oil first in the drain plug right here. So we're gonna drain it. There's also a fill plug that you should take out so that most of the transmission oil can come out. So I'm gonna do that right now. So we will be taking out over here the manifold. Some of the bolts are, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 millimeters. And then, I don't know if you can see down there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 actually right there. This one, and this one, all 10 millimeters. We need to take this out because we need access to the torque converter bolts, which is right by the starter. So that's the only way. If you have another way, let me know. But as far as I know, pretty much the only way to access the torque converter bolts so that we can loosen it and then start taking the transmission apart from the engine. All right, so we actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more bolts that we needed to take out. They're all 10 millimeter. And then of course we already talked about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. These are the bigger bolts or the longer bolts. So we have this out. We have space now to go ahead and reach towards the starter, which is right around right there. I don't know if you can see it, but which connects all the way down. We got to take this out. So now, get rid of all these wirings right here, meaning loosen them up, get them out of the way, and then maybe even take out the if you want, the plug here for the alternator, so that definitely will help for sure. Other than that, don't forget to drain your transmission, which I'm doing right now. It's being drained, as you can see. You don't want it to come out and then all the transmission oil leaking all over you, so make sure you do that. Of course, we have taken the wheels. CV axle needs to come out, so make sure you unbolt these things right here so that this drops out of the way with the rotor and the caliper right here. And then I will show you over here on this side. We're gonna do the same thing, take out the CV axle, take this cover out so that we could reach the crankshaft right here. So as we spin, those torque converter bolts, I don't know if you could see, will start appearing. You loosen them, spin the crankshaft again, get to the next torque converter, and step by step we'll start removing the bolts. So make sure you remove those bolts, torque converter bolts first, and then tackle the main bolts that join the engine to the transmission. Okay, so this pretty much kind of flops on top, which is fine. You know, you don't need to worry about it. Just leave that as it is. Don't remove that. And then I'm gonna actually take this out of the way over here so that it's out of my way. I could fill the drain plug. I removed the drain plug, which is right actually underneath. I don't know if you could see it, but the drain plug is right there. So that's the drain plug right there. No, that's not the one. So we have one right here, right there. That's the small hole that I took out. So it's gonna be right there, right next to it. Maybe I'll try to point it out in the video itself, but that's the drain plug. Sorry, that's the fill plug, sorry. It's the fill plug right there. Take that out first, and then tackle the drain plug, which is right here. Where'd it go? Yeah, right here. Yeah, right there. Yeah, you can see it, but leave it out for a couple hours. As it starts draining, I'm gonna start taking out the major components afterwards. I want these wirings kind of loose out of the way so that I could get to the starter. Starter basically joins the engine to the transmission, okay?